Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. So I did decide to redo the video that I posted the other day. Reason why is because I watched it back. One, I realized I was a raspy early morning mess. And two, when I was watching it back, Spirit sent me so many more messages. I felt like for an hour-long video, it's a lot to watch and it didn't come through succinctly. I'm going to try it again with you, okay? So I'm going to kind of combine this with an April energy forecast. Happy April, you guys. We are in, spring in the Northern Hemisphere. It's really exciting. I just bought myself flowers. Woohoo, April is up on the board. Yay. I always love changing the month on the board. Great month ahead. So we have another full moon in Libra this month, okay? And we had a full moon in Libra last month, so it's pretty interesting energy. We also have that new moon in Aries, which is going to light some fire underneath us, okay? And we are going to be really collectively guided. And so I've now put together my written forecast for you. If you guys don't receive that, please sign up on my website. It's spiritualmaterialgirl.com. Scroll to the bottom, enter your email address, and you'll receive my written extended forecast. Those are just channel forecasts, channel messages for the collective for the whole month. I'm not going to do full moon, new moon, 3 different ones anymore. It's just going to be one concise monthly forecast. Okay, so please sign up if you're interested in that. And look out for it, you guys, in your inbox. Those of you who receive it over the next day or two should have it out by April 1st. Okay, so I have another announcement. This is another reason for making this video. I have been planning for quite some time now to do a summer camp. We're doing an SMG camp. This is going to be like unlike anything that you have done before. It's kind of like the best of my intensive programs combined with like holistic ascension training. So we're going to have so much fun. You're going to get all sorts of things with summer camp. You're going to get readings and individual coaching sessions. You're going to get daily lessons. You're going to get ascension tips from recipes and healthy living to how we complement this twin flame journey, this ascension journey with meditative work and chakra balancing work. And we're going to delve into your healing and everything that we do in intensive programs. And then we're going to take this over a course of 12 weeks. So you get 12 weeks of coaching, guidance, motivation, and we're going to go outside the realm of just healing, integration, and manifestation, even though a big focus will be on that. But we're also going to give you what you need so that you can integrate the 5D and pull it into the 3D and live this integrated life. This is my shirt. This is my tagline. It's time to integrate your world, right? It's time to integrate your world. And how do we do that? We are material beings. We are actual physical beings. And we are one and connected with our soul and our spirit. So we need tools after we come through or during this ascension journey of like, now how do we up level in every area, in our friendships, in our diet, in our nutrition, in our movement and exercise and health? How do we up level in our peacetime, in our self-care? I'm going to teach you all those things. We're going to have different exercises, really fun things throughout the 12 weeks. And I have a great program laid out for you. So it's all going up live on my site on April 1st. So just check it out on Monday, April 1st and see if you're interested. Let me know if you have questions. I am so looking forward to this program. Okay, so summer SMG boot camp, sort of summer camp, ascension school, all rolled into one. All right, so now I'm going to do probably about 15. I'm going to limit myself here. I'm going to do about 15 minutes of channeled messages using the dry erase board with the automatic writing. Just because a lot has come through, I feel like you guys are going to get it more, better, more concise from me this time around. Then I'm going to move into a full card spread reading for the month of April. Okay, so I'm going to put this on pause for a moment and grab the dry erase board. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys. So as you know, and how I've been explaining it is that I do automatic writing and spirit channels right through my hand typically. Sometimes I'm also channeling and it's coming through me and out to my hand. So either way, some of you really like to see it visually anyhow. And a lot of times they give me visual like diagrams that I can't really explain to you by talking to you. So it's easier for me to have it come through me this way anyhow. So hopefully it's like a win-win for everyone. So what we were talking about in that last video I posted was about unicorns and swan signs. And I know, in addition to the dolphins that I posted last week, a lot of you are getting these, right? So what has come through on the swans is that this is like highest path guidance. Okay, so they're guiding you on your highest path. They're saying, follow the swans, trust the swans. They're guiding you. They're saying, yes, you're on the right path. Yes, you're going to the highest path. Yes, you need to be on this journey. Yes, it's kind of like the 4 4s, like right where you need to be. Keep going, keep going. Like that's this. It's also soulmates, okay? Very special relationships, very special. And for many, because I've seen that some of you are not with your divine, you're not with your divine life partners. You may be looking at a twin thinking this is my life partner, or you're looking at someone who's not truly a twin, or your twin flame's coming back in to solidify the sort of sacred union with you. But what they're showing me is that these divine life partners are coming in for us. They're coming in, okay? They're coming in. This is divine. So this feels very special. It's either that the twin's coming back is in a place to support you and uplift you and harmonize with you, or it's a new soulmate type relationship is coming into your life. So if you're getting the swans, that's usually what they mean. It's either this or that and or both, okay? This is really messy, sorry. Okay, so divine life partner, these are people that are going to be with you. They're not going to leave you. Like, these are your relationships, the ones you're going to have marriages with and babies with and full committed relationships with. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that's new soulmates coming in for everyone. It could be the twin flame for some of you showing back up so you can harmonize in union, and the twin flame showing up more like a supportive partner. The thing about the soulmates are always supportive partners that complement us, okay? Whereas karmic partners we're learning some hard lessons with, right? It's very karmic. There could be drama, could be heightened, emotions, could be huge lessons, huge upsets. With the soulmate, there could be the same type of, sometimes the timing doesn't match up with soulmates, but soulmates tend to be pretty much supportive, uplifting. They're the ones that come in to reflect the more healed pieces of ourselves, or the pieces of ourselves that we are not claiming from our divine power. They'll see it in us before we do. They'll look at us and they'll say, wow, you're so amazing. And we'll go, we are? So that's the feeling of a soulmate, okay? And so you know who you are, and you also know if you're getting the swans, okay? I'm getting them everywhere, and I've only had them influx into my life one other time, which was probably about, it was like 17 years ago, a long time ago. And they're a very positive sign, very positive, highest path. It's like the yes from spirit, keep going, you're on the right path, something's coming, there's soulmate love in the air, it's coming, it's exciting, okay? Unicorn is a little bit more universal. Like I told you guys, if you watched the last video, I was talking about universal magic. Now, a lot of you chimed in and wrote comments like, no, this is what the unicorn means. And I'm not here to give you the textbook definition. I'm here to tell you why Spirit is sending this to us at this time, okay? What it means for us and the collective right now, okay? This is pretty much, not only do I know this, feel it, have they told me, showed me, and reassured me, but I also know this from another time in consciousness and my own path, and also when consciousness was shifting, okay? So This is really interesting because it's not textbook. They told me the word soliloquy the other day. Soliloquy, I think that's how you spell it, right? Soliloquy. Who can say that? Say that 5 times fast, right? Soliloquy is basically when like a character in a play goes to the front of the stage or off to the side and speaks out to the audience and kind of like, takes that time to, makes a speech regardless of whoever's hearing, right? Airs what he's going through or airs what she's going through, and regardless of who hears. And that's how the definition is in the dictionary. And this is not a word that I use. So for Spirit to give it to me, or I feel like these messages are from really higher beings, like the archangels, the ascended masters. They are really over the Twin Flame Collective right now, very much so. So soliloquy, what they're telling us to ask, right? And I said this the other day. If you watch that video, ask for what you desire. It's time to ask and be heard. So you can ask regardless of who's listening. That means don't hold back because of shame. Again, the message is coming through that there is magic to create. This is why you guys are seeing the unicorns with the rainbows. Because I'm going to tell you that's what you're seeing. And we often see that, right? But I know that you guys who are seeing the unicorns are seeing them with the rainbows. The rainbows signify the joy, the manifestation power, the magic. Okay, so rainbow, magic. And when we look at like the tarot deck, we look at the magician, we're talking about pulling things from, up here, ethereal form, holographic universe, into physical world, right? His arm goes up here and then out into the physical world like this. So not only do we have the opportunity to be crystallizing our 5D timelines, okay, because it's definitely about the 5D timelines. These unicorns are all about anchoring in our 5D timelines. And there's magic everywhere. Is what universal magic means. There is magic everywhere. And it starts by you creating it. You create it in your energy field by, 1, trusting. And they're saying it by saying ask, they're saying take action. So what does that mean? That means when we have an idea, thought, desire, some seed of inspiration, it is in a very feminine form when it comes in. Okay, it comes in as inspiration. It comes in, we might nurture it. We might think about it. We might visualize. We might, massage it for a while. it might be an idea or something like that. It might be something romantic that we fantasize or visualize. And then these things sort of just are there while we're nurturing them. Now, there's a difference between having them in us and nurturing them, like fertility cards that we see in the oracle decks, and like when we see like Brigid, who's pregnant, in the Sacred Feminine deck that I have. And we say, like, she's fertile with her projects, with something new is birthing. But we've been through that. You guys you've been in a pregnancy. You've been in this place of being so-called pregnant with your ideas, with your next steps, with your new life, with all this stuff. And now they're saying it's time to not only dream and visualize and nurture, but it's time to ask. And the asking takes our masculine energy. I don't care if you're divine feminine, divine masculine listening. It takes both sides to bring things into life. So just the act of asking for what you desire, for what you need, whether you are asking rhetorically to the universe or just sending the signal out, like, I really like that vacation to crystallize, or I'd really like that investor to come in for my project, or whatever that is for you. Or it could be like looking at someone that you're in a relationship with and literally asking for what you desire. They're saying ask. Don't hold back because of shame. Shame is constriction. Constriction comes from programming. Constriction comes from society or familial programming. Our families telling us, like, no, don't think that. No, don't be spiritual. No, you can't ask for that. You can't be that. Oh, what would they think if you did that? And there's a certain shame that if you did step all the way maybe into your gifts or ask for what you wanted, that it wouldn't be answered, or it would be shunned, or it wouldn't be heard, right? And so anything that you've been restricting yourself from, in any place you felt shame, it's time to let that go. Because that's holding you back from stepping into your magician, from stepping into your full power. And the truth is like, we are magic. You are magic. Like, you can create magic. It starts with you, and it takes both sides. It takes the divine feminine, divine masculine within you. So if you are one of those people that are seeing the unicorns and the rainbows everywhere, because I know a lot of you are seeing that, not only is it a popular thing that's on, decorative items right now, so you see it like in stores and things, but it's not, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's going to be in your path. If you're seeing it, it's in your path for a reason, okay? And when the signs echo to you, like, that means they feel like they have some vibration that they're sort of like resonating at a higher level, or they feel like they're echoing, like you see it and it's like, whoa, that's when you know that sign is for you. And it's hard to explain what that feels like. It's just a resonance. It's like you see a billboard or a license plate or something, and you're like, it's almost like it zooms into you, or it echoes, right? That's guidance. We are receiving guidance, divine, higher being, higher level guidance to help us. But they want us to, this is trusting. This is opening the space for the divine partner to come in. This is trusting that we're going on the highest path and more good things are coming, rather than doubting or getting stuck in like, where is it? Why is it not showing up? And this is all about, like, you can't sit on it now. It's time to birth this new life. It's time to anchor in these 5D timelines. It's time to ask for what you desire. And that is the process of co-creation as well. Co-creation takes masculine and feminine energy on your behalf. And you cannot just sit and vibrate out to the universe and do nothing. That's not how manifestation works. But manifestation also doesn't work if you're willing things and so focused and so stuck on a plan and willing things and so action oriented and so logical and so analytical. It's not going to work like that either. It really takes a healthy balance. It really takes inspired action. And what they're saying is it's time to get vocal about it. So that means talk to yourself, talk out loud, talk to your guides, talk to your angels. Ask those around you who aren't giving you what you desire, that maybe don't know what your truth is. Maybe it's time to speak your truth and let them know. What do you need from this particular relationship? What do you need from this particular person? What are you desiring in your life? Maybe it's not that you need it from them, but maybe it's just about you telling the person that you're in relationship with, hey, this is what I desire for my future. And then allowing them the opportunity to rise up and meet you. This isn't about doing things the same old way, all this unicorn energy. This is about a new you creating in a whole new way. And holy shit, I have goosebumps, you guys, because the possibilities are endless. And I've been telling you, I'm going to grab a tissue, wipe this so I can keep writing. So I've been telling you guys that when we get into July for the next eclipse, like right before the next eclipses, you're going to look around June, July, and you're going to be like, oh my God, some of this stuff is actually crystallizing, okay? I'm not talking about someone who is hung up on their twin flame, wants that, only wants that, isn't focused on themselves, isn't focused on anything else, and needs it to be the way that they need it to be, and they need to control it. I'm not saying that come July, everything's going to work out. No. It's the ones who aren't attached and who are self-focused and are working on their mission and doing what they must do to help serve the world and uplift consciousness and heal and raise their own consciousness, and believing in love and believing in whatever is in divine order will show up. Those are the ones along this journey who are going to anchor in their 5D timelines. And they're already saying you have a whole team of your own personal guides as well as higher beings who are applauding you. They're saying, keep going. You guys are doing a great job. Okay, you might need more tools along the way. You might need to fine-tune things. We always need to revisit pieces of our healing. I was also talking about that, triggers have been a big thing this past few weeks, and especially this past week. And in my Mother Mary workshop, she kept specifically coming in and really just chiming in the message around like having compassion when we're out in the world. Like really, it's about compassion versus judgment, right? So why can't we sustain compassion? Why do we go into judgment? Because we have disowned pieces within us. They're disowned aspects of us that we project on others. Okay? Those are our judgments. And when we learn how to work through this process of reclaiming those aspects, we can dissolve the judgments and move closer into unity consciousness. I have a course on Vibe Up on my site, vibeup.com. And those of you in the intensive program in April, you guys will take it. But if anyone wants to just sign up and do the self-study on that website, it is a course that helps you actually dissolve this and come into unity consciousness. So it teaches you how to do the projection exercises and, and work through this, because, whenever we're triggered, it's a big alert. It's triggering something unhealed, unclaimed, unresolved within us. And there's been a lot of that. I've been hearing it left and right from friends, peers, audience members, clients, and a lot of the triggers feel like they're coming up in they're saying public places. And the reason why they're placing these beings in our path, the ones who annoy us, the ones who trigger us, as strangers, so that we can start to bring mindfulness in. If it was right away jumping from doing our healing into, the relationship with our mom or our dads or the person that triggers us or, that annoying person at work who we have to be around every single day, who just drives us nuts every day, then we might have a harder time practicing this. So for many of you, they've been placing these beings in our path, or having our paths cross, I should say, because that annoyance or that trigger is almost there for a reason, so that it's a perfect stranger. There's less emotional, entanglement. There's less at stake. It's going to be easier for you to bring mindfulness in. And raise your hand if you've encountered someone over the past few weeks when you've been out in public, car, road rage, stores, wherever, maybe I don't know, anything, a concert, a game, anywhere you've been where someone triggered you. Person standing in front of you in line, the guy, not paying attention in his car, who has triggered you? Just think about that. Now, this is a lot about unity consciousness. So this is about us choosing now how we react. Now, what I get is that a lot of the collective was triggered, and that somewhere in the trigger we caught ourselves or are catching ourselves, and we're having more mindfulness. I had told the story that I was in a store, and everywhere I would go in the store, this lady was racing around with her cart, And it was actually like a clothing store or department store. And she was so in her own world, and she kept bumping into me, dead-ending me, roadblocking me. And the first few times I was like, all right, no big deal. But like it kept happening for like a half an hour. And it was so funny because everywhere I went, she was there. And I was like, oh my God. And I was so annoyed. Got into line. She's coming into line at the same time to check out. And I said, you know, go ahead, you know, go in front of me. You're welcome, you know, whatever. And I just thought it's probably better off because that way she can put her energy in front of me and I can just observe myself, right? So I stood there behind her and I observed myself, and I stood there and I'm like, why am I so annoyed? Why am I so triggered? And I looked at her and I saw her talking to herself, like crazy chatter, almost like schizophrenic chatter. And she was being really hard on herself. And I thought, wow, she was under a lot of pressure. That's why she was like racing around the store. And she's got some other, it seemed like there was a disconnect within her. And so I just stood there and tried to have compassion. I sent her a beam of love. I was just, the whole energy turned. But is that how I felt at first? No. But somewhere in there, mindfulness came in, right? Like that mindfulness, that's, you guys, that is the twin flame experiment. That is the twin flame. This is what we're here for, to do that. Those tiny, small things. Like instead of cussing her out, instead of sending her a bad look or calling her an idiot or me perpetuating bad energy because I was, you know, like annoyed by her, I just changed everything. I just, in that one little bloop of a moment, like I changed the energy for everyone. And I up-leveled my timeline, her timeline. I dissolved the separation between us. I was having compassion. And you guys are doing it too. I know you are. So keep doing it. Keep bringing the mindfulness into everything that you do. It might not work yet. You might not be so healed and polished and aligned that you're ready to like do this with like the twin flame or the relationship or the mom. But practice when you're out in public. This is a practice forum. That's why they're sending these sort of triggers in our path. And we're going to see it pop up, and it's an opportunity. See it as an opportunity. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, why am I being triggered in this way? Okay. Really important. I get that higher beings, are sending this to us. Okay. So it's not a coincidence, and it's something that we need to pay attention to. We are being asked to put our new, little more healed, little more balanced, more aligned selves into practice at large. Okay? This is mindfulness everywhere we go. This is awareness. This is like, what does this mean? Seeing someone else and go, what does this mean for me? What is this reflecting for me? Owning the responsibility and then shifting ourselves, because that's all we can control anyhow, right? That's what the ascension path is. It's a up leveling of your consciousness so you can shift from fear to love. And when you shift from fear to love and you can hold the vibration of love, you become one with yourself, your divinity, and with the universe. It's an amazing thing. And right now, no one on this path is completely aligned and completely in the state of love all the time, unconditional love, because you wouldn't be here. You would ascend. So, but we come in and out of it. We are getting better and better at it. We are healing. We are ascending. We are doing amazing work. Keep going. Okay? So I'm going to take the cards out and I'm going to shuffle a bit. And then we're going to pull some messages for the April energy. So this is April 2019 specifically. And we're going to use the Star Child Tarot deck right here. And Christina Georgieva's Lil Wanderer deck. And the Wisdom of the Oracle. And let's see, we're going to use some of the Ask Your Guides. Okay. And if I need to call upon any of the other decks, I will, if anything additional comes up. But yeah. So April energy is going to be give us a little push forward, I feel, okay? But like I said, we're being very divinely guided this month. There's going to be a lot of signs and synchronicities. Keep following your path. Keep following what you've carved out for yourself. Keep following everything that hasn't crystallized yet. Just keep following. Just keep following the inspiration. Keep nurturing the inspiration. Now start asking for what you want. Now start taking small action steps. Because during this Aries energy, you're going to have the opportunity to do that. And it's a good time to do it. Okay? Let's see what we have here. Pulling for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine will be on my right. Divine Feminine on my left. Okay? And we'll do combined energies in the center. And I hear a doggy barking. I don't know if you guys can hear it, one of my neighbor's dog. He's chiming in. So, April, yeah, so we're going to put some things into action. I've definitely been getting a lot of downloads around the Divine Masculine. And here we go. And I am going to sort of insert those messages as well as whatever comes through as I'm talking with the cards. Just give me one moment. Okay. And we will use these as clarifiers as we go along. Okay, so Divine Feminine, I'm going to start with you. Divine Feminine, you have Ace of Crystals coming up in reverse. Okay, so look at these magical crystals. So Ace of Crystals is, again, this is the new beginning. This is the crystallization. Didn't I just say that about 10 minutes ago? I said that new life is crystallizing. I was pointing down at the 5D in the corner of the board, and I said, we can crystallize it. We can bring it in. I have goosebumps. This is not a coincidence that we got the Ace of Crystals. The first step, the new beginning. The crystallization of our dreams and visions and desires and wants. So underneath this, we have the Denial card from the Sonia Choquette Ask Your Guides deck. So Divine Helpers, and I told you, we have a lot of Divine Helpers right now. So they're trying to help us see where we've been. For some of you, denying yourself the ability to just feel and receive what to receive what feels good, to receive what is in divine order for you. You've been blocking that in some way because you may have been just fixated on it being one way, one outcome, one person, one way, one plan. And they're saying you've restricted yourself. You've been denying yourself. This is not about, for some of you, it could imply that there's some blinders on still from our childhood wounding. Time to take those off. Time to really look. Those of you who haven't done the work all the way, time to really look. But moreover, I get that this is more about us allowing ourselves to see and receive what is in alignment for us. These divine helpers, as I told you, are sending us signs. They're telling you keep going. You're on the right path. If you're looking at one thing and you're going, no, it's going to be this way. Like I can't even see that path, that new path, that amazing path, that new thing that's crystallizing, because I'm so laser focused on how I thought it should be and how I thought the plan should go and how I need it to be because I'm trying to control things or because that's what feels neat and the other path feels messy and unknown and oh my gosh, I need to trust. And they're saying, stop denying yourself. So it's not necessarily denial in the sense of, completely having our blinders on, although that is always there at some level when we say we're still being triggered. And I told you, our divine helpers are bringing us opportunities to take the blinders off, to be triggered in the moment and go, what does this mean for me? What is it reflecting for me? And really see that. But I think at a higher level for the divine feminine, it also is saying very much so. Stop restricting yourself. Stop telling yourself it needed, like, I can't have kids because I'm too old, or, you know, it's like whatever's happening in the linear 3D, like, this could never be, it's impossible because, or it needed to be this way and this time constraint on my time, and, or I'm going to sit at home and be a recluse hermit and just wait for that thing that I'm totally attached to. And like, you're only seeing half the picture if you do that, because they're saying if you just go and align with yourself and focus on what you do want to create, what feels good to you, that's what's going to start showing up for you. And then you're going to see through the divine helpers that there's a whole new world. There's so much more waiting for you. Things are waiting to come in. We do not get crystallization, and we do not get these divine helpers, you know, helping us anchor in the 5D and all these messages and signs, swans, unicorns, dolphins, if there aren't big things happening. There's big things happening. Love, like real true love coming in for many of you, or re-entering in a new way, showing up in harmonization, unions, coming into your soul's purpose, getting that mission going, getting your projects off the ground, those things that you've been incubating. And then crowning over this for the feminine, we have a change in wind. And we saw this in that post that I deleted. This came up, and it's like, this is saying, like, I really feel like, it's funny it's coming up for the feminine, because I kept feeling like the masculine is going to have the turning point, like in August, from May to August, which is about 12 weeks, which is how I've designed my summer camp, which is kind of funny because I didn't even think about that, that there's going to be then a change in direction, meaning I feel like it's a good one. I really feel like you're going towards your full truth feminine. Masculine too. Masculine knows who his beloved is. And if he's not with her, doesn't know her, he's feeling her at this time. And those who have known one another and then been separated, he shall return. And those who are fixated on the wrong one, yeah, you will face another direction because there's someone new coming in for you. So there's some things that are going to change for everyone after August. I get, especially like feminine, don't stick to the plan. This is when life gets really good. This is when you're joining up for mission with your masculine counterparts, when you're having marriage proposals and like moving in together and just union and lots of great things. Some of you are wondering about, they're saying a job change, and you're unhappy where you are currently, and I want to pull some cards for that because you're asking, is this when I'm going to make the change? And I'm going to tell you what they have to say about that. This is for the feminine who are asking this. Union. So they're saying union, hello. There's a union coming here. So it's going to change your life. Will it dictate where you work, where you live? Yeah, it is. It's best not to, if you're wanting to make a change, the best thing to do is focus on what feels good to you. What do you want to create? What do you want to be doing? And what type of environment? What do you want to be doing? What's the purpose? What's the why behind it? Leave out the how and when and let all this stuff play out first, because they're saying 12 weeks, your life's going to change from May. Okay. So I feel like this, they're talking about August. So, there's a cycle that the twins are going through from May to August. And it's really imperative, though, that you get in your power. over this summer through these eclipses, because this is about maintaining alignment now, sustaining alignment. This is about harnessing your power. This is about following your own path. That's what's going to actually magnetize union. And I explain that in the dolphin video when I'm talking about finding your own unique sound. That you have to find it within you first before you're going to be able to attract it, the partner in, for the union, for the divine life partnership. That has to be loud and clear, owned, embraced fully within you. Your connection to your divinity, who you uniquely are, your unique imprint, why you're here in the earth, how you're harnessing your gifts. It doesn't mean you have to be like perfect. It just means you have to be like in full ownership of it and in alignment with you, all your energy with you. So these unions will not happen if your energy is with the other person, wanting, waiting, blah, 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 blah. Time to get with ourselves. That's why I designed my camp, my SMG camp for the summer. So it's perfect timing for that. And yeah, so I'll leave that there. Let's look at the masculine. So masculine has the 10 of crystals. So they're telling us that something is coming to completion in his, or coming to fruition in his physical life. And I feel like this is, it's been sort of what he's been thinking of since January, a change that he's wanted to make. They're saying he's got the ability to see this through. And I feel like the only thing about this sort of, whatever it is that he's been working on manifesting that's coming through for him, as he's saying, like, now what? He's going like, now what? I'm still not all the way where I want to be. And they're like, repeat the process. Repeat it. Keep doing it. Because the more you do it, the more you're going to have everything that you desire. I think he's seeing it in small ways right now. The crystallization of some of the things that he's asked for. This does feel like a new job opportunity for some of the masculine, or a new path that he's carving. It does feel like something that it also feels like something coming to a close, because they're showing me the boredom card underneath this. And this is like, maybe he's bored in a relationship, a karmic relationship. He could be. Maybe he's like just feeling like, okay, this phase of being a little bit complacent is over, right? This phase of, you know, I want more, he's saying. That's completing. So I think twofold. I think he is starting to crystallize some of the things that he's been wanting. Some of the small changes are coming into effect. But we're going to see this more and more and more for the masculine come this summer, when he has a huge shift in consciousness. So he's going to get a lot of spiritual guidance. And I told you guys in the last few readings, masculine's going to go on an ascension journey consciously, many of them, where they're researching, they're thinking about twin flames, they're looking stuff up, they're trying to understand, they're learning, they're getting more on their own spiritual or authentic path. And I think it is the contrast of, you know, being where things don't stimulate them, where, you know, life is kind of like not fulfilling for them, right? And by little things coming to fulfillment, he's seeing, oh, I can do this. But again, I still think other things he's leaving. You know, they're coming to a close. He's saying, I'm bored here. This isn't fulfilling enough, or that job wasn't fulfilling enough, or that, you know, that karmic partnership isn't like what I have with my beloved. And he's giving his heart over. Okay. And this is all in divine order. Now, I also get above this the exchanging gifts, which is in reverse. So I feel like, again, boredom, exchanging gifts. This is like a karmic partner. It feels like karmic relationships. Could be karmic work too, like where he's like hated his boss or hated his work environment. Just, you know, and he's like, going, God damn it, you know, I just want to get out of that, you know, create the change, and that needs to come to a close. And they're saying, like, he's needing to, masculine, you're needing to see it as a gift, because it is the contrast that's sparking you into, you know, what you really do want, and you have the ability to bring to fruition. Combined energy, and actually, you know what, I pulled a clarifier for the feminine, so let's do it for the masculine as well. When we're talking about, look what flew out, transformation. So this is really the masculine is going to go through, starting. He's like, you know, caterpillar stage right now. He's starting to go through a metamorphosis, a transformation. And it's unlike what we've seen from the masculine in the past for many of them. Not all, but many. And this metamorphosis is saying it's rebirth, change, it's a paradigm shift. It really is. And it's being sparked of what he doesn't want, what he no longer wants. That's showing him what he does want. He's able to bring some things to completion, or will be through the next set of eclipses, so that he's going to start to make this transformation before then, behind the scenes. And then the real physical change, the unions, all that stuff are going to come like from August, September onward. These are the types of things that I'm like, I almost have 100% certainty that we're going to see a lot of this. You know, it's not going to be everybody, and everyone's on different timelines. It has unique, you know, circumstances and unique dynamics, but we're going to see a lot of it in the collective. I've been seeing it this way since January. They've pushed it around a little bit, or it's coming into focus a little bit clearer, but pretty much it hasn't changed. It's been the same sort of timeline. And I mean, they upped the ante when they told me that the masculine is going to go through like a conscious transformation, for many of them. So, okay. Combined energy is 8 of Swords in reverse. This is still like, let the past be the past. Okay, so it's coming up in reversed. And I feel like this is a new landscape behind here. Remember I told you by June, July, we're going to be in a new landscape. It's like a new setting. It's the crystallization of our new life. And if you look at the atmosphere out here and what this is, you see, like, this is the old life. This is the past. This is where we've been hurt and burdened, and, you know, and I feel like we've needed to walk through this for a while. We've needed to just be in it, own our pain, learn how to be in it, learn how to look at ourselves, learn how to heal. And if you guys haven't learned that, because owning our pain is a huge part of healing. We cannot just skip to forgiveness. I was told forgiveness is the last step. I have been shown recently forgiveness is the last step in our healing. And it comes when it comes. It's not something we force. Owning your pain is the most important step, and yet it's skipped over again and again. Why? Because we don't feel like we have the right to. So we feel bad, guilty, shameful, whatever that is. And now it's saying, I feel like, yeah, appreciate that you've been in it, that you've allowed yourself to just be in it. Whether that's felt like a momentary pity party, or like maybe you have spent too long playing the victim, or maybe you've spent too long in that mentality. But now you're learning the tools to say, I own my pain, but I also have the ability to pull myself out, because it's not about being the victim. It's about learning from my experiences, learning to own my pain, and rechanneling that into my own transformation, alignment, connection with my divinity that was lost somewhere in all of this wounding and baggage. And that's how we get up from this, you know, strife or despair or whatever it's been. And we go, wow, I just needed to be in it. I really did need to be in it. That's what I needed to do. I'm not mad at myself for being in it. I'm not going to, you know, punish myself. I'm going to go step through that new, I'm going to step into the new paradigm. I'm going to step into the new life. And there's a whole new world through there. Okay, there's new terrain. It's a new landscape. In fact, nothing is as it was in the past. So we need not take the past into the present. I got the message from Mother Mary. What did she say to me? I'm going to read it to you. When I had channeled her the other night, she said, it was so simple but so profound. She said, let the past be the past. Now is a new moment. So obvious, right? So simple, but just let that resonate. Let that permeate with you. Let the past be the past, she said. Now is a new moment. Now think about when you move into the now, or you think about the future, how much of the past are you bringing with you? And why? Because if you are, it's because it's fear, right? So this is where they're saying, let the fear go. Let the fear go. This is what we're having a hard time with. Let this fear go. It's not going to be like it was in the past. You're transforming. You're ascending. Like you're creating a new landscape. Time to walk through, renewed, and let the past be the past. Okay? So underneath that, we have the Knight of Swords. Okay? And this is like we're on the precipice. And we're cutting through. We're on the precipice. We're about to dip our foot in. It's a little scary. We're on the cliff, you know. But there's also, it feels like a connection to cosmic forces, to the other worlds that has been propelling us, that we're sort of becoming aware of, and we're able now to connect it to the earth. That's also what's happening. It's not just about like reaching up into the holographic universe and pulling it into life. If you think about it, it's like cosmos, earth. And it's huge stuff that you are the facilitator of as you're crystallizing your higher timelines, as you're helping to uplift humanity. You bringing your higher timelines and your dreams and living your best life and bringing all that stuff into Earth, into our planet is huge. See this ripple effect here? That's what they're showing us. You doing that, just you taking the dive in, it's like it causes a ripple effect in humanity, in consciousness. So go for it. Go for it. Don't take, it's not about being impulsive. It's about, you've got this. They're saying you already got it. It's already in your energetic vortex. It's in your desires, and masculine, like maybe you're birthing some new desires too, or you're realizing some things. And, you know, and this is for the combined energy. So it's like both feminine and masculine. Like it is time to be brave, to step forth, to just dip our toe in the water and then just keep going. But it's also about like having the courage to bring this cosmic wisdom, this cosmic inspiration, and make it real. What scares you about that? Ask yourself, what scares you? What's scary about that? I think for a lot of us, it does scare us. I think our power, our magic scares us. And the more that we can look at ourselves and just admit that, I mean, I know I'm such a powerful manifester, but I can admit that too. That like, as I go up and up into the next level in my life, into the next level, I'm going, oh shit. And this is like this, oh shit, I'm on the cliff. And they're like, keep going. You got this. You got this. And you do too. So, crowning over it is the Six of Cups in reverse. So I want to show you what that looks like upright. So it's a girl sort of looking out to that ideal, that castle. All the cups are up. So this is like, I feel like it's just like them saying, you have the right vision in mind. when you allow yourself to dream the ideal. The problem is that things get turned upside down for you when you block yourself, when you stop yourself, when you tell yourself that's impossible, when you start analyzing how far there is left to go or how far you've come, or, you know, they're talking about impossibility here, and you've got to remove those blocks, and you've got to become mindful of where you have those blocks, both the feminine and the masculine, and why. Why do you have the feeling of impossibility for that thing that you really want to create? What is that? Draw it out, write it out, vision board it, visualize it, keep thinking about it, listen to music and think about it. Allow yourself to dream about it. Allow yourself to even romanticize a little bit about it. Like, we don't want to get caught up in romanticizing it too much, but there's a difference between romanticizing and visualizing. So visualizing, we're putting out an intention with like a feeling around it. And with romanticizing, sometimes we take what reality is and we twist it into only what we want to see, versus just not, like, when you visualize what you want, don't do it from a place of reality. Do it from a place of what you want, you see? And this is what okay, that's what they just showed me. This is what this card means. Exactly. So she's sitting here and she's looking at, like, this is reality, right? It's going well. I'm taking steps forward, but, like, this is reality. I am here on earth. And they're saying, like, no, you've got to create from this line over here. Like, just when you visualize, do it from here. Like, that's the only view. Not what's in front of you, not how far you have left to go, not what's behind you, but just this. That's what I want. That castle, that life, that dream, right? So that's a huge message for us. So we have, it's interesting because we have oppression, and this just, like, kind of popped out. I was pulling the cards together. It just, like, pulled forward like this. Like, she was, like, I feel like she was just coming towards me. So oppression, the oppression card. I think I'm going to read it to you, okay? How Danielle Knoll refers to this card. In this deck. Sorry, guys, just give me a moment. Again, this is about a lot of stuff's coming up about our blocks. Okay, so so this is the Devil card, right? And so it has a slightly different meaning in this deck, and I think it's really relevant to this context. So it says, a veiled ghostly figure floats above the ground, suspended between. And literally, when I was picking up the cards, it was like she floated up towards me. I'm not even kidding you. Like, she just went, like, the cards were like this, and she just went like that. So anyhow, so it's a veiled ghostly figure floats above the ground, suspended between the earthly plane and spirit world. Here is a universal energy that has the potential to haunt each of us at some point. Typically depicted as one of the greatest antagonists of our time, the devil, or oppression, has been known to hide behind the destructive tendencies that we carry within ourselves, whether in the form of addiction or ego, a materialistic mindset, a negative ancestral pattern, or a self-inflicted dependency that is stunting our spirit. There is a certain willfulness in this sort of behavior that needs to be addressed. So she says, like, the overall message is, you know, there's something big that needs to change. And you're fully capable of breaking free of anything that's oppressing you. So when I was talking to you guys about, you know, shame, right? Remember I wrote that down, like, where are we shameful? Where are we constricting? Because they're telling us to use our magic. I mean, look, she's got magic going on in her hands, but yet she's blinded. And we are needing to shed the ego. We are needing to, really see the shame so that we can come into openness and not constriction, not restriction. And I feel like this is also like just blocks that we're putting in our way because like we kind of still have the blinders on. We're only allowing ourselves to see it one way. But I'm telling you, when you go into your power, and they have been showing me that, I had a client, you know who you are. You know who you are, and I hope you're watching this video, but this wasn't just for you, my dear friend and client. I feel like this, they showed it to me after our session several times. They were showing me a bodice. Let's say this is someone's leg. I can't draw. I can't draw. Hold on a second. Let's say this is someone's shoulders. Okay. You guys are going to laugh at me. I can't draw it. So I'm just going to kind of show you. They keep showing me like a stomach. So it's like a stomach. And where you would have the navel, normally, they're showing me the seeing eye. Okay? Like and they keep showing me the head, you know, where the crown is. In your third eye, shifting. And I feel like this is happening for everyone because you have to learn how to get centered in your power, in your gut, in your knowing, in your trust. And actually, even though, yes, you have your third eye, our third eyes get blown open during your ascension process. For the feminine, she has a lot of, in this crown chakra area, a lot of other stuff happens here too, right? So it's hard for her to separate. You know how you ask that question, like, what's my intuition and what's my fear and how do I know what I'm like putting there in my logical mind? Like your logical mind is your crown. Your mind, okay, your thoughts. So if our third eye is there and we don't have that discernment, they're saying the reason why we don't have that discernment is because we're not in our power. So we need to really focus on it here first, getting in our power, alignment, dissolving the fear, reclaiming our divinity. That's what we need to focus on. So it's almost like solar plexus, focusing on your navel, focusing on your gut instincts, focusing on what your gut is telling you. It's so important at this time. And that is going to create the ability for us to take any veil of illusion off of our crown, off of our eyes, so that we just can go right from our knowing, right from our power into our magic. Okay? And that's for everyone, masculine and feminine. Okay? The bottom of the Wisdom of the Oracle deck is no place like home in reverse. I think this is, again, another message about coming home to ourselves, right? Like not doing it for the other person, because of the other person, attached to the other person, finding out who we are, our unique imprint. Remember, it's like the unique song of your soul that you have to come all the way home to yourself. And for some of you, when this card comes up, I say, coming home to yourself might feel empty because we often fill that up with a false sense of security or false sense of fulfillment by attaching our energy to other people. And when we detach from those people, which again, they could be toxic people, things that we're addicted to, codependency stuff, a lot of stuff that we've been working on letting go all year, coming home to ourselves could feel lonely at first. because we got to get reacquainted with ourselves. We got to fall in love with ourselves. We got to fill our home up again. And our home is us. This is where we need to reside energetically, not with the other person, not with, you know, the person that we're codependent with, or with the addiction, or with that thing outside of ourselves. We need to reside within ourselves and find out what that means. What is our unique song? Where, what does our, you know, like if you came home and you were like, wow, this house is empty, no lights on, this is awful, right? And then you want to go back into those cycles, you know, the ones that you've been having a hard time breaking. That's when you got to look around and go, what can I create here? If you walked into a house that had nothing on the walls, wouldn't you decorate it? Wouldn't you try to make it a little homey? Or would you just sit there in the isolating emptiness and go, this sucks? Or would you run out the door and go, I want a different home? This isn't right. Or are you going to make it are you going to make it beautiful? Are you going to make yourself fall in love with you and fill yourself up, fill your own cup up from within? This is what coming home feels like. And, you know, in this process, when we let go of codependencies, when we let go of addictions, when we let go of things, relationships, people that haven't been healthy for us, it can be scary. Because then we realize, like, we feel like that was a crutch, or that was like someone that made me feel this way, or that was someone that made me feel that way. Now I don't have that anymore. Guess what? Yes, you do. Now you have the opportunity to give it to yourself. And so that's what we must be working on. It's huge, because that's what's going to bring the unions about and all of this great, you know, magical manifestation of our 5D timelines. So, bottom of the deck with the Ask Your Guides is intuition. So it's inner child. And again, you know, I got that message for the feminine. Like, we've been restricting ourselves because we think it's like the way we need to go, or we've been too much in our logical minds, right? Looking too much at the past, being too rooted up in this logical thinking. And they're saying, for both the masculine and feminine, it's time to just let our inner child play. Let your intuition rule your path. Let it lead you. And by following some of your impulses and things that you love to do, and maybe by acting like a child, or enjoying some things that just feed your soul, and getting to know what those things are, because that is what it means to come home to yourself. In my course on Vibe Up, called Wear Your Crown, we explore so many aspects of how we reclaim our divinity and our power and come back into full acquaintance with who we truly are, whether we're reclaiming that or whether we're meeting ourselves for the first time, like our powerful, almighty, divine selves. And one of the exercises I have you do later in the course, or later in the workbook, is, what did you used to like to do as a child? You know, what did you used to like to do as an adult that you don't do anymore? Start doing those things. Start doing those things, like getting reacquainted with our spirit, with the things that we truly find enjoyment in, not restricting ourselves. Allowing yourselves to play opens up our creativity and opens up our intuition. Okay? So that's going to put us in a place more of trusting. And we want to trust. We want to be able to trust it. So I know this is very long. I'm going to let you guys go. I thank you so much for joining in and for these messages. Again, if you want to book a session with me, reading, or a Twin Flame guidance session, I'm doing a 10% off Twin Flame guidance sessions this month, all month. And you can use code, what did I do? April 10. So April, A-P-R-I-L, all caps, 1010. Okay, so April 10 upon booking. And, or you can book soul coaching sessions. And don't forget to check out the SMG summer camp. All right, love you guys. Mwah.